everybody! Today is Wednesday, Wednesday the 26th, I think, of March 2025. My hair doesn't look too bad right now. I did get a shower and I was combing my hair back and it did stay, so how about that? Although I just rinsed my hair tonight, so I didn't really wash it, but still, it doesn't look too bad. Alright, so getting into it, the nerd stuff. First off, I want to talk about Daredevil. Did finally see the latest 2 episodes of Daredevil. I'm wondering if, first off, watching the first episode that dropped last night, I'm wondering if they weren't like a week or 2 behind on dropping the season, because that clearly seemed like it was a St. Patrick's Day episode, and it premiered last night, so it made me feel like maybe they were a couple weeks late dropping that particular episode. Like maybe they actually were figuring on dropping the Daredevil a little bit sooner than what they did. Excuse me, on Disney Plus. So, I mean, I don't know, but that's just the way it felt on that particular part of it. Nevertheless, great episode. I was loving it because now I think that is pretty much the episode where we finally see the lawyer being more like Daredevil, right? So even though he's not in the Daredevil costume yet, we're seeing him because there's a bank robbery, and of course he happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, but yet he's still able to kind of like sneak off and do his Daredevil stuff without anybody knowing. And he helps the assistant manager of the bank open up the vault. Apparently only the manager can do it, but he wasn't there, so luckily Daredevil was there with his, and since he's got that really great hearing, he was able to open the bank vault without too much of a problem. Once they open it, they discover that there's a diamond in there that these guys are looking for. So they're not really in this for a money heist. They're looking... Oh, okay. They're looking for this, like, diamond. So, really cool episode, though. I loved it. It was a great episode. And then we get into the next episode where we actually do get to see more of Daredevil, the Daredevil costume. He actually gets into the Daredevil gear. He's going after that serial killer. I forgot his name right now, but anyway, I think I got it written down. I'm pretty sure I do. Let me see. This is what I got notes for. For when I forget names. Must be back a page. Moose. Our Moose. So yeah, he's going into Moose's lair, so to speak, which is at the railroad. Oh, dang it. I mean, at the subway station. There's part of that subway that is no longer in use, and that is where Moose is hiding. He has all these victims. This little girl, or teenager, or whatever, she comes to Matt Murdock at the very beginning of the episode saying, hey, I need your help. I need your help to get this guy. We can finally take him off the streets once and for all. Of course, the mayor is sending some people after this guy too, calling him a vigilante and saying we need to take him off the streets. So, so Fisk is after him too. But she comes to, like I said, she comes to Matt Murdock. Murdock tells her, like, well, you need to go to the police. Sorry, guys. But it said, like, this is more of a police matter. And she says, like, no, I don't trust the police. I came to you. And then he's saying, like, well, these things take time. So she's like, okay, fine, you ain't going to help me. So fine, whatever. And then she's like, well, sometimes I need to take... my dad said before he died that sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands. More or less is what she said. I can't remember exactly what she said, but more or less is what she said. Well, she ends up getting captured by Moose while she's looking for him in his lair, of course. She's just a teenage girl. So, of course, she gets caught. It's up to Matt Murdock to save the day, so he gets into his Daredevil. I'm sorry, they both start with the D. He gets in his Daredevil costume, uniform, what do you want to call it, and he goes and saves his teenage girl from Moose. He defeats Moose, so she was out of it for a little bit, then she looks up and goes, oh, it's you, it's Daredevil. So, but yeah, even in this, we're still looking at dirty cops. So, which I'm sure these dirty cops actually have something to do with Wilson Fisk. Time will tell. And then Fisk also, he has his own police force now. In this episode, he hires his own police force to go after these vigilantes. And they don't have to have body cameras, and they can work late shifts, if you catch my drift, so they can work late to go capture these guys. So, no doubt that they're going to be after Daredevil and the Punisher as time goes on. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I really love this episode, guys, or these episodes. I like what they're doing with this. I like that they're not relying so much. Basically, from what I'm seeing of this is like the best of the MCU. Like, they're not depending heavily on CGI to save the day. They're letting the actors and actresses do their work, and then they're following it up with good storylines and really trying to capture these characters, which is what Marvel is all about. So I think they're on the right path here. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. This is kind of a turnaround, and hopefully we're on the right track now with Marvel and that Marvel universe. And then I did want to talk a little bit about NXT. Valkyrie. I love her. I think she's going to be outstanding. I can't wait for her to be on the main roster. When it does happen, she had 2 belts again in NXT. And they said like she was one who held a couple belts in a previous wrestling company before she came to NXT. And from what I understood, she actually could have made the main roster right off the bat, but she decided to go to NXT first because she kind of wanted to learn the English language a little bit better, and she wanted to give herself a little bit more time to kind of get into the American stuff before she took center stage. So, but I think she's going to do really well. She already is. She's already winning over the fans. She's already winning me over. I think she did lose her North American title last night. She defended both titles. She did keep the women's NXT title, but I think she did lose the women's North American title, if I'm not mistaken. I think she did lose that, but still, that takes nothing away from her. She had 2 matches in one night, and she was kind of, I think at that last bit there, she was kind of you know, um, what's the word I want to say? She was kind of, it was kind of like a 4-on-1 again in the ring or something like that there for a little bit. So she's by herself anyway, and a lot of women took advantage of it. So I mean, she was, but she still, I mean, at least she still walked away with one belt, even if she would have walked away with none. Just the fact that she still won both belts is freaking amazing, and they can't take that away from her. So time will tell, but I think she's gonna be a really really good one, lady, when she hits the main roster of WWE, and it's only a matter of time before she goes onto the main roster. I would say sometime this year she'll probably make the main roster. I look for that to happen. It's just a matter of time. I think they're already, in fact, I think WWE is already kind of sort of making space for her when it happens. So, and another one that I've heard rumors about, Saraya, from AEW. She has, from what I understood, she's officially left the AEW. Her contract has ended, and she's not re-signing with them. Rumor has it that she's going to take up her old name, Paige, and she will rejoin WWE. So if she does, that would be really awesome. I know she was on WWE for a while as an announcer. They would not let her wrestle anymore because of her injury. And I think that's why AEW let her wrestle in their program, and why she went over there is because WWE would not allow her to wrestle on their program due to her injury. And she basically went over there and said, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. I can still wrestle. So time will tell, but we'll see how all that goes. But I'm really excited. I'm hoping if that information is true, and we might see Paige on the main roster again in WWE, that's freaking awesome. Of course, this might be her retirement tour, kind of like John Cena right now with his retirement tour. But, I mean, time will tell. I could definitely see her getting the belt one more time. I could see her having a nice matchup against Charlotte Flair. In fact, I could see Charlotte Flair being the one that retires her later on, or vice versa. Paige retires Charlotte Flair. So, because they're both, you know, let's face it, that neither one are spring chickens. And, but yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, I don't think either woman's ready to retire just yet. I don't think so. I think Saraya still got more in the tank yet. I think Flair does too. So I don't see either one retiring for a while. I think if anything, they're just going to keep adding to those storylines and everything, and making more of a name for themselves and the company. So, but I'm really excited. I really want to see what WWE has in store for us, especially for the women's division. But anyway, that is all I got for nerd news. Now I'm getting into the questions of the day. Questions of the day. So I'm getting into this. And yeah, I won't, like before, like last night, I'm not going to have the special stuff up here because it's a weeknight and I'm going to be going to bed here in a little bit. So I'm not going to do any special editing tonight. So just have to wing it with no special pictures or anything, or floating letters. I'll get back into that probably tomorrow, or tomorrow night, because I can stay up later tomorrow night. But for today, I'm not going to do all that. Actually, there won't be any tomorrow night. I forgot. There won't be a video tomorrow night because I have nothing to talk about. So I would have a video tomorrow night. So I'm doing an update before I answer the question, I guess. So my next video will be Saturday. I'll have a little bit to talk about on Saturday. But yeah, I won't have anything to talk about tomorrow. So that being said, other than the questions of the day and the Missouri Day of History, I have nothing to talk about. I would probably just do a Missouri Day of History and questions of the day video tomorrow night. I'll do that still, but I won't have Into the Gale video exactly because I won't have any nerd talk or anything to talk about. So there's that. It's just going to be a boring day for the most part, just a typical Thursday. Well, I guess I do have a little bit of nerd talk, so I guess I could make it into... You know what? I will. I will do an Into the Gale tomorrow because we have... Masked Singer. I'll be talking about the Masked Singer. It was on tonight, but I will talk about that tomorrow. So that way I'm not doing too much, what do they call that? Too much spoilers too quickly. So give people a chance to watch it first before I spoil it. So there you go. Besides, I haven't seen it yet either. So I can't spoil it if I don't know. Because I gotta wait to stream it tomorrow. Alright, so there we go. So there, I will have an Into the Gale tomorrow. So there you go. So don't listen to what I said earlier. I will have one tomorrow. I forgot about the Masked Singer. So I will have one tomorrow. I will have one Saturday. I probably won't have one on... Will I have one on Sunday? I might have one on Sunday too. It'll be a special one if I do. Because my friend... she's got a new shop, Moonlight Pedicure, so I might do something for that. I don't know yet, but she definitely has a new shop. So if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to, because she is already opening her new shop. I won't be able to check it out until Saturday, but and then the new theater, B&B Theater, we'll be going to that on Sunday. So, like I said, I'll probably do a special episode for that, for those things. So, be sure to be on the lookout for that. Anyway, now I got you all caught up to the questions of the day here. So, March the 26th. And again, we have no St. Patty's Day question, but I figured that because now we're kind of getting late into that. And another thing, too, they missed out on Mario Day. There's no Mario question in here either, or a 316 question. I mean, you could have done a wrestling question on that, or something about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nothing like that at all. I mean, come on. There's a lot of things going on in March, and you guys are just making this completely random. Alright, what does the term best friend mean to me? It's worded differently, but that's what it's asking. So what does best friend mean to me? Well, for me, best friend is someone that I can trust, fully rely on, fully depend on, no matter what. They're always there, thick and thin. You can always talk to them no matter what. Even if they're going through shit themselves, you can still talk to them, and vice versa. They can talk to you. For me, that's my fiance Angela. That's my best friend. So I feel like I can talk to and rely on her more than anyone else. Of course, I mean, she does test me sometimes, but that's all right. I mean, what are friends for? Friends should test you out every now and then, I think, because I know I test her too. So there you go. But yeah, through thick and thin, we still find a way to keep it going, keep the rhythm going, and all that jazz. So I wouldn't change it. All right, here we go. Let's see what the other questions are. Okay, here we go. What is the weirdest food combination craving you've ever had? Like I said, I don't know if this is a weird craving or not. But I would say it was, which I still like to do it every now and then, peanut butter and jelly with chips and salsa. I know it might sound a little weird because you got chips and salsa and PB and J, but weirdly enough, they kind of work together. At least I think they do. So that's kind of a weird craving I've had sometimes, and but hey, it works. And as I've told people time and time again, don't knock it until you've tried it. Oh, and I don't know if it's another weird craving or not, but it works for me too. Is every now you've got like some of that hot cheese, like that hot dipping cheese that you do with chips, having that or nacho cheese. That's what I'm trying to think of. Nacho cheese on bread. It tastes really good. Don't knock it until you tried it. It's really good. I like nacho cheese on bread every now and then too. Have you ever had to make a decision without enough information? If so, did you? What did you do? I don't know if I've had to make a big decision without knowing the information first, or knowing the information entirely. I don't think I've ever had that come up. Because when I bought my car, um, pretty much every vehicle that I bought, I've always tried to know as much about that car as possible before I buy it, including look at the Carfax and all of that. So I made my decision wisely. I'm trying to think of any other big decision. When Angela moved in here, I tried to make sure it was the right decision for both of us, and she did the same. So, I mean, we made that decision wholeheartedly, knowing what we are getting into. When I made a decision to get pets, I made sure that I was making the right decision and that they were the right pet for me. So yeah. I'm trying to think of any other big decision. But yeah, I guess. Well, even I guess proposing would be another big decision, right? So I made sure I did everything I was doing there was right too, and that the timing was right and everything. So yeah. So yeah, I don't think I've ever made a decision without knowing all the information first or knowing enough information. So I can't say I've ever been there. All right, if you were ever having a lunch with the Queen of England, well, I can't do that anymore. She's dead. But what would you talk to her about? I have no idea. To be honest, I would try to find first off. I would try to find out what kind of British food that she likes, or that she would suggest that I would try since I'm in England, and I would try that kind of food, and then I would probably just have a conversation with her about England in general, because I would be totally fascinated about what she thinks of her country. So, especially since I wouldn't, obviously this would be my first trip over there, or at least my first time talking to her about it. So, yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. Unfortunately, I can't do that. She passed away, so that won't happen. What reoccurring lie did you always tell your parents or teachers? What reoccurring lie? I don't know. I don't know. Didn't have one. I can't tell you that, I guess. I didn't have one. I pretty much just spoke the truth. I mean, Back when I was in junior high, I guess. But to be fair, I always thought I did have my homework done in junior high, and then I'd often forget an assignment or two, and then come into class the next day and like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this or I forgot to do that. Um, it really wasn't a lie. I really did forget, and that was a problem that I found out later. Is like I need to be more organized and actually write that stuff down so I didn't forget the assignment. Because I always thought like, okay, yeah, I'll remember it, no big deal. Then I get home like, yes, I didn't have anything, and then later on like, oh crap, I did have that assignment. Oh crap, and then I'm panicking and trying to get it done before I go into class. So, but yeah, as far as lies go, though, I never lied to my teachers or my parents. I didn't have anything to lie about. So, not trying to say like I was a really good student or a really good kid as far as that goes, although I was. Um, but I just, I try to stick with, especially when I was in high school at the time, I just mainly just tried to stick with my studies and get through it, do what I had to do so that way I could get to the next step in my life. So, but I had a lot of fun in school, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun while I did it, but I wasn't trying to lie to go to a party or anything like that. So, um, do you still watch cartoons? If so, which ones? Yes, I still watch cartoons. Are you kidding me? But I watch any more. Let's see. I still watch every now and then. I still watch Tom and Jerry. I'll still watch the Looney Tunes every now and then. Same token, though, I'll watch some more of the adult cartoons right now. And I don't mean like adult cartoons, but I mean like I'm trying to think now because it caught me off guard here, but I watch Family Guy from time to time. I'll watch. I never got into Bob's Burgers. I tried to, but I just can't get into it. But I like Family Guy. Maybe that's why I don't like Bob's Burgers, is because it's too much like Family Guy. I'm like, dude, I'm already watching a show just like this. So I don't need a second one. Trying to think of another one. You used to watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I like that one. That one was more of Adult Swim. Um, shoot, Futurama. I love Futurama. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of the name of that other one I liked. Um, where he'd often look at. He was like a secret agent or something like that, and he had like this lady that would follow him around. And one of his sayings was, "Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants." I can't think of the name of the show right now, but anyway, that's one I would watch quite often. I love that show. Um, but yeah, still watch cartoons from time to time. I'll watch Garfield if I find it on, or if it happens to be on. Hey, I watch SpongeBob still too. I like SpongeBob, so nothing wrong with SpongeBob SquarePants. In fact, I'll tell Angela from time to time, like, actually, believe it or not, I said the reason why I probably like SpongeBob a little bit is because SpongeBob, back in 9/11, after 9/11, SpongeBob was the show that, if anything, kind of got you away from, from 9/11 for a little while. Because everybody on the news and media, and you turn on to MTV at that time, you turn on to USA Network, you turn on to whatever channel you can think of, and everybody is talking about the terrorist attacks. Everybody's talking about you know they're re-showing the planes crashing into the towers, or showing again the Pentagon in flames, or showing where that one plane went down in Pennsylvania. They keep showing this over and over again, and then they keep showing you the background and the aftermath of New York, and how everything is still dusty and people still can't believe what they just saw or witnessed, and they're still bringing in people to talk to about it and everything. And this was going on for a few weeks. It wasn't just like a day or two, if I remember right. It was going on for a few weeks. So, but if you turned it on to Nickelodeon, particularly if you turn it on to Nickelodeon during that time, you got SpongeBob SquarePants. So SpongeBob was like your outlet. He was kind of like, hey, we understand this is going on right now, and it's sad and it's dark and all of that, but here's a way where y'all can just get away from it just for a little while. We've got SpongeBob on for you so you can get away from this. It's SpongeBob. And yeah, it was where like basically SpongeBob became that outlet. He became that, like, okay, well, I can kind of get away from all of this. So yeah, I still watch cartoons. I still love SpongeBob. Hey, if you have the Rugrats on, I'll still watch the Rugrats too. Or Hey Arnold, or Doug, the cartoons that I grew up watching. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Ed, Edd and Eddie. Dragon Ball Z. I'll still watch them. I still watch some anime too. By the way, I'll watch anime. I'm not afraid to say it. I watch anime. So yeah, there you go. I do still watch cartoons. There you go. And I'm not afraid to say it. Not afraid to say it at all. I'll even still watch the 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if they come on, or the Ghostbusters TV series, or whatever, or Transformers TV series. I don't care. I'll watch it. Anyway, going on to Missouri Day of History. The last bit, and then I am done for tonight. And then tomorrow I'll go back to my editing, I think. Because, like I said, I'll be up longer tomorrow. Tonight, though, I got to get to bed at a certain time because I still got to go to work tomorrow. So, there's that. I still gotta be an adult, even though I don't want to be. Alright, so the 26th of March, we go back to 1911. And we are going back to St. Louis. We gotta talk about St. Louis again. But this is the birthplace of someone, I guess, a native that might be famous. A guy known as Tennessee Williams. He grew up in that city of St. Louis. And 1911, of March 26th, 1911 was the day Tennessee Williams was born. So he attended Salden and University City high schools before setting off for the University of Missouri and Columbia to further his education. At Mizzou, he found out that his real interest was writing, and had to return to St. Louis to find work to continue to pursue his dream. The glass monger, I probably pronounced that wrong, and I know I did, and it's a really famous book, and I know what it is. The Glass Mongerie. Anyway, before I really just blast this, and you all going to be making fun of me, but it's okay. He completed it in 1944 and it became his first real hit. He followed it with The Night of the Iguana, A Streetcar Named Desire. We had to read that in school. And A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I think we had to read that one in school too. So there's quite a few of these that we read in school. Those plays won him major awards, including the Pulitzer Award and the New York Drama Critics Circle Award. Tennessee Williams' life came to and well, basically he died of weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird, but crazy circumstances. I don't want to say weird, but crazy circumstances. He actually died from choking on a bottle cap at the age of 71 at his home in New York City. He was buried in St. Louis, even though he asked to be buried at sea. So it's kind of crazy there. But yeah, good old Tennessee Williams. He was born and raised in Missouri. So there you go. Well, it doesn't say he was born in Missouri, but it says he was raised in Missouri. So there you go. Good old Tennessee Williams. And then also we've got another part here for Missouri for this day in history. This one we go back, same date. We're going back to 1987, a year after I was born. President Ronald Reagan arrives in Columbia via Air Force One. Reagan spoke to the National Governors Association at Hickman High School. So there you go. The president came to talk to a high school on this day in history back in 1987. And that is what we got for y'all for Missouri Day of History. So there you go. So next time you got to read one of those plays in school, you can blame us here in Missouri, and because this is where Tennessee Williams resided. Unfortunately, they didn't have a picture of Tennessee Williams in the book. You'd think they would have, but oh well. It is what it is. Now it makes me wonder if they'll have one of Mark Twain when we get to him, because he was also a famous author from Missouri. But at any rate, that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And yeah, so again, I will have an Into the Dell video for tomorrow night. And I will have one for Saturday. I will possibly have one for Sunday. And then we'll go from there. So, because like I said, I don't necessarily do it every day, but I try to do my best. So, but if I don't have anything to talk about other than the questions of the day and the Missouri Day of History, I may or may not record it. Just depends on how I feel and depends on work and all that stuff. But as long as I'm able, I'll probably do it. So, all right, y'all. That's all I got. That's a wrap. So have a good one. Peace out, and I'll see y'all later. Bye for now.